Check, check, quick sound check. Can everybody hear us loud and clear? What's going on, Coach Paul?
I hear you loud and clear. Welcome back. Good to see you. Welcome back to At the Buzzer. How was your trip?
Trip was amazing. Trip was amazing. Some much needed time off of the markets. Got to see some friends that I've known for almost 20 years. Uh, well, a friend that I've known for 20 years get married to his wife that I met a couple years ago. Amazing couple, great time. Friends from college, and it was a good time. Good time. A lot of laughs, a lot of drinks. I guess that's what happens at a all inclusive resort. But it was
Yes,
good,
it does.
good overall. But I am happy to be back. I'm happy to be back. After a while, you need a vacation from the vacation. So I am happy to be back. Welcome back to At the Buzzer, our market recap. How are you been, Coach Paul?
um, Slow.
Yep,
We um, enjoyed, missed you, but enjoyed being with Coach Dakota.
for sure.
Did a great job. But trading wise, it's been slow for me. We talked earlier in the green room. Sometimes there's not a trade. Don't force it. But
Right.
um, it is July.
It is July. Maybe we are in that summer doldrums that traders talk about. Welcome to At the Buzzer, our market recap. If this is your first time here, the goal of this segment is to review what happened in the markets for the day. We may talk about some markets that you have not traded before, but we believe our goal as traders is to identify opportunity. We want to see how we can take advantage of our opportunities while managing our risk. This is our first time meeting. I'm Coach Jay. Been a top step performance coach since June of 2023. Been trading for the past 13 years, and that is Coach Paul. Coach Paul, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Coach Paul. I've been with Topstep since April of 2023. I've been involved in the futures industry for 4 decades. I'm here to share some experience, some knowledge, and hopefully help you become a better trader.
Stuff. You are all our chat, our audience. We want to appreciate you joining each and every day that you do. Let us know how your week has started off. It is Tuesday, feels like a Monday a little bit. Sorry, I missed yesterday, guys. Uh, but let us know how your day started, how your day ended up. Were you up on the day, down on the day, anything that you learned from the day, and we can get right into it. Let's talk about the news really quick. We didn't have really much as far as planned news goes today. Today is July 22nd, Tuesday. We did have some earnings. It is earnings season. We had GM, Coca-Cola before market open. Texas Instruments just reported to after the close. Uh, some big tech earnings tomorrow. We got Tesla and Google, so we'll talk a little bit about those. We'll cover those during At the Buzzer tomorrow, but not much on the news calendar today. Again, Fed blackout period. We do have an FOMC meeting next week. We had the inflation data come out last week, so pretty quiet. Anything you got on the news, Coach Paul?
Um, Nothing much on the news. Um, Congress is shutting down, so some of that news is going to go away until September, but nothing big here that I saw.
Nothing big at all. All right. AG says it was choppy, green and red. And green, I did good yesterday and today. $1,000 from a payout, or ready for $1,000 payout. That's Heather. Uh, Noah from IT says $20 is $20. Yeah, it's a winning day. Uh, could have been a loser. Could have lost $20 or more. Um, Good stuff. Bobby, doing well. You took your money out of your live account back in the combine. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That's why the option is there for traders. You're struggling there. It's better to take that money and put it in your bank account than give it back to the markets. We don't talk about that enough. But if you're going to lose the money, I'd much rather you take it and put it in your bank account so you could do something with it. If you feel like you're not trading well, you could always restart, get back in. You're a good trader. And JD says 5 for 5. I'm on a heater. The the trick to keeping the heater is no talk about the heater. Just throw the pitches, JD. Great trading. Great.
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Great trading. Love to hear it. All right. Let's get into the quote board. There are 35 different markets we can trade with Top Step accounts. And today, to the downside, we have micro Ethereum futures down 1.27%, natural gas down 1.83%, and heating oil, our biggest percentage mover to the downside at 2.1%. To the upside, we had wheat futures up 1.34%, copper up 1.9%, and micro Bitcoin up 2.63% for our biggest percentage mover to the upside. To round out our big four, we have crude oil down 0.53%. The S&P pretty much flat, down 0.02%. Gold had a really nice rally today. We'll talk about that. The house account did take that trade. Gold up 1.07%, and the NASDAQ down 0.66% to round out our big four. I'm going to pull up a NASDAQ chart. That is what I traded today. I know we made new all-time highs yesterday, I believe it was. What are we looking at here on the daily in the NASDAQ, Coach Paul?
It's, you know, it's a volatile. I'm looking at volatility wise. It's been, I think it's 8 days in a row it's gone lower, and reflected by our smaller and smaller ranges.
Hmm.
Um, at these all-time highs with volatility, just it's like losing its momentum.
Okay.
The market is reflected in the volatility. And I saw a study yesterday. I don't have it here right now, but whenever this happens, it's ripe for a break.
Okay.
Now, that's what it's done in the past, and this is not investment advice, trading advice, but it gets complacent. But right now, we're holding the 20-day moving average, and we're just hanging around it. If it settled below the 20-day, then I would start feeling a little like there's a nice correction coming. But like you just said yesterday, we just hit an all-time high.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
So it's hard to be bearish about a market that once once a week we're making an all-time high. But it's just the way it's doing it. Like you said, the volatility has come down for sure. It's kind of slow grind up. Um, Average volume. We're not really seeing headline moving, market moving headlines. Just kind of a slow grind. And if it moves the market, it does it for quick knee jerk reaction. And then it's a grind higher. Today we did have a down day, right? Down 0.66% in the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at a shorter time frame. Take a look at what happened on a 30-minute. Oh, wow. Look at that.
yeah,
Damn. Why did I not realize that during fast markets? Uh, Here's the first 30-minute. The Globex opening range, pretty flat overnight until we get into London. A little bit of selling coming into London. See the volume pick up there. But we kept revisiting this 30-minute opening range, Coach Paul, a couple of times where we rejected at that
yeah.
almost to the tick, 50% of that range.
Yes. And VWAP never. There was no real buying last night. Um, after yesterday's week close, after all-time highs, yeah, um, look where we went to the 20-bar moving average last night on low volume. But yesterday's close, and that's kind of where we're at here. There was yesterday we had the buying, not surprising. And then the buying, to me, the buying stops.
Yep.
And once that stops, we get slow, and then we have a big break. Um, Kind of like the top of a roller coaster. I don't like roller coasters myself.
I don't like turbulence. Man, that flight back, whew,
Yeah. Oh, you were coming out of a
it
storm.
was
Oh
tough.
yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. But I get you. I'm not with roller coasters either, right? Pick a direction and go that way
Well,
smoothly.
turbulence is worse. When
Yes,
you
it
get
is.
bad turbulence, it's like, please just land. So in here, um, followed last night. There was no buying. There was no follow through. I don't know. And then let's go to this morning, on the 3-minute.
Pretty big 3-minute opening range. Nice rejection of that range. Pretty nice trade here. This was the trade of the day. I know Dakota caught a piece of this. Maybe I was still asleep or on island time because I was neglecting
Island time.
the
Yeah.
clear short that was playing out here. I did get long, and sometimes you're going to be wrong about the direction of the market in the time frame that you're trading. I think what I was happy about was, and trying to get back into the flow of trading the markets. Trading it with small size. If I took that exact same trade with minis, maybe I lose $1,000, maybe I lose $1,500. But the initial trade lost $250 trying to buy this. I'm okay trying to get in long to a market that's on a higher time frame grinding up. But this was a very clear sell signal early on this morning. I kind of just ignored it.
Yeah, here we go again. The selling comes in one little wave, and then the selling stopped.
Hmm.
And then we go chop because look at the rest of the day. It was caught in a range with no urgency. Um, Little correction, but yeah, they came in early, and once again, what I'm saying is this: there's no buyers after the big rally yesterday. Still no buyers. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Um, right there, the first half an hour.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. First half an hour, then after that, bounce and range for the rest of the day. Uh, and this might be what we get out of these markets. I know you were talking about summer markets, Coach Paul. There I did take a range trade. I did buy at the low of this range towards the end of fast markets there and make back some of the losses. But if you're in a place where, let's say, you took a bigger loss than you were um, planning on taking or accustomed to taking, or you took your loss, just understand that in these summer markets, this is a decent enough range to trade. But if these ranges get really tight, maybe this is the best time to just say, "Hey, I've done my job for the day." Um, I'm sure there was a trader that was looking for, and so we had a couple traders in the chat looking for the Nasdaq to get back up to these highs, and they never did. Um, we hear traders say all the time, "There's no substitute for screen time." But if you're staring at a market that's doing this, looking for a breakout, I think that's a diminishing return on screen time because it's not presenting that to you. Uh, but decent opportunity for a range trader.
well, for a decent opportunity for a range trader or whatever trader you are, you could lost money today and lost well.
Yep.
I mean, that's not a bad day. A bad day is trying to make money and losing a lot doing it. Um, but yeah, range trader. I mean, there was plenty of opportunity there. But did we get a J trade off that low?
So the high volume was here. The highest volume of the day was here. Actually, no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
If you
wasn't.
look at a 3 minute, it was this one. And again, it depends on the time frame that you're going to use, but this was the highest volume of the day, this candle here. Once we closed above it, we did. We see the market respect that volume, respect that price every time it came back down there. Um, there were some huge orders on the books today. I do remember that. We saw, and I had asked because I haven't been at the markets for a couple of days. We saw a couple of thousand lots in the Nasdaq, and that's a ton of size. Where most of that volume traded out, I think this will be interesting to watch going through the rest of the week. Let's put on a volume profile here for the day. And I'm gonna pull this to fast markets because we can see the consolidation afterwards. But let's just look at where the volume profile was for fast markets. All of those 1,000 lot orders, and we had a couple 700, 800 lots get filled in the S&P, were around this area, right? 23,200 up to 23,225. Pay close attention. I'm going to be paying close attention to this range throughout the rest of the week, right? There's a ton of business that executed there. Why did they choose these prices? I don't know, and I don't need to know. But the fact that they did is important, right? You'll hear traders talk about point of control. Point of control for the day on the volume was 23,217. So I'm going to be paying close attention to that area.
Were they resting buy orders?
They were off on the offer. So the way it worked, the way it played out,
So they were sell orders.
they were sell orders. So the way it
Yeah.
played out, we sold off this morning, right? And Dakota got in a short, was looking for another short, and then we saw 1,000 lot show up at 23,140. The market, they left it out there, right? Because traders all the time, Coach Paul, are going to say, "Oh, it's spoofing." They left the order out there. We got to within 3 points of it, and then they moved it up 20 points. So I got long. I said, "Well, if they're not going to let the order fill, then whatever. The market's going to keep." And we can see it. And if you guys watch fast markets this morning, you will get a little bit of an insight of how I use the DOM to trade. Because when those orders pop out, they're going to do one of two things: either they're going to fill or they're not. but the market is going to usually act like a magnet to them. It depends on the day. Some days they're going to let those orders fill early and just go from there. But they pull the order up 20 points. Then the market kind of
Mm.
consolidated, pushed up to, so I got long after that 140 got pulled. So we were here. 140 got pulled. We can see what happens. The market pushes up. Then they moved it up to 160. 160 gets pulled. The market's able to trade through that. And now we come back to 160. It's holding there. So this gives me confidence for that long. Now they move it up to 23,199 or something like that. Then they start letting those orders get filled, right? As the market gets to them, they're not pulling them anymore. So it's interesting to see, right? Traders will call it spoofing. They left the orders out there. It wasn't like a flash 1 second kind of thing. What somebody wanted to sell is
Well,
just
if
at
they
a better
got
price.
filled,
Go ahead.
it's not a spoof.
Exactly.
If they got filled, it's not a spoof. And whether it's spoofing or that isn't spoofing, but I've come down to I don't spoof or not.
Mhm.
If I want in, I'm using a market order.
Right.
If I'm reading order flow and I think they're spoofing, if it's part of my process, spoofing is should not affect me.
Yeah. Right.
Now, if you're spoofing, if they're spoofing, their danger is getting hit. Like if I'm spoofing markets 6 for 500 and all of a sudden, bam, I get filled,
Right.
I'm in trouble.
Yep.
Like, okay, now, well, maybe not trouble. Now I've got a decision. If I'm really spoofing, then what do I do with that 500? And we talked a little bit. We've done this before, and I talked a little bit with Coach Dakota. Okay, now you're spoofing. I give you 500. What do you do with it? If you're not laying off, let's say you're not in the option market or you're not arbitraging for any other reason, you're not going to hold them.
Right. Right.
So now all of a sudden I sell 500 more. Um, so there is a danger in spoofing.
For sure.
What the problem is I know this happened many years ago, is that you wouldn't like a spoofer made sure that if it got hit on the bid, he'd only take like 5 to 10.
Mm.
Now that's felonious to me because
Right.
you, if you say this is the way it was in the trading pit, this was at least at the board of trade. If you didn't put a number on it, it was just 7 bid, you're there for any size that comes to you. If you only want a certain number, and you got to put a number on it, because there was if you did that, someone said sold 500, you got 500,
Right.
and then we'll see where you're at, because if you didn't, your intent was not to keep that, wow, you're going to get
Got a
raced.
problem.
And then if I have more, let's say I have 500 more, now I'm racing you. So not every time is that spoofing.
Yeah.
If I'm working an order, let's say there's a big option order and I need futures to hedge it, but I only know that there was orders called fill or kill. I want 500. Hey, pay 7 for 500
Yeah.
and doesn't get filled. Someone doesn't say 500, they're canceled.
Right.
So, some while there is spoofing, I don't believe it's as big as people feel it is.
Now to be. Yeah. Yep. Spoofers are out. Just an excuse to be scared of the markets. JD made a good comment. The 200 moving average on the 30-minute is right around that point of control as well, where all those orders were getting filled. So interesting area to watch right there. All right. Anything else on the equities you want to talk about, Coach Paul, or do we want to move on to
But did we
gold?
look at Rusty?
Let's take a look at the
Well,
Rusty, which had a pretty different day
yeah,
uh, than everything else. Here is the Russell. Last night's open. we haven't been paying too much attention to the Russell in the overnight. So here it is. Decent overnight short last night. Again, volume coming in London, really bringing us lower. But if I'm trading the Russell, one, I have two questions. How many traders do we have that trade the Russell? And two, if you trade it, do you trade it overnight? Here is the.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Coach.
I'll trade it. I'll never trade it overnight.
Gotcha.
I shouldn't say never. That's pretty.
Never,
But
never. As a
yeah,
trader, never say never. That's what I've learned.
never,
That.
ever, ever.
Yep.
I just never say it. Never.
Yeah. Here we go. 3-minute opening range here. Initially, we broke out price wise to the upside. Volume looked like it wanted to leave and failed. Sold off, kind of like the rest of the other equities, but we did see some follow through on that reversal that we didn't see in the other equity markets. Here is that outside of the that reversal candle on the lows. It's not the highest volume one, but really nice reversal. Once we got back into that opening range above VWAP for the regular trading hour session, it was a nice trade here. Coach Paul, why do you think we're seeing this bigger move in the Russell than what we are in the NASDAQ or something like that? The Russell percentage-wise was up 0.91% today, almost a full percent.
My first thought is it's protective. The bigger stocks, the Mag 7, are getting getting a little crowded.
Mm.
And this is a much more commercial contract. It's a bigger. It's 2,000 stocks. It's mid caps, mostly. As fund manager, this is a safer bet right now. I have to put capital to work. Um, so I think on a risk return basis for fund managers, this this is offering more opportunity because as we look at the daily, we've seen this before. The Russell versus the NASDAQ or the S&P is playing catch up.
Low of the day in the Russell, that 20 moving average on the daily, which is starting to trend up, did cross above the 200. And the Russell has a long way to go to get back to all-time highs. I think Jack shared a stat that said, I forgot exactly what the date was, but it was a date in July 2025 and a date in July 4 years ago. And the Russell is flat over the course of 4 years. So are we even going to get those all-time highs? Should we be looking for a huge percentage move? Coach Paul, I remember last year, maybe 2 years ago when we were doing at the buzzer, we did a yearly recap of where all the equity markets were, and the Russell was pretty much flat on the year. So for day traders, it's presenting great opportunity to us, but for an investor, it's probably not where you want to have your money, unless you just want it as a savings account. That is not financial advice. Nothing on this
Well,
show is. Go ahead, Coach.
like I said, maybe it could be a sign of weakness of the overall market.
Mm,
Like they're making there was the decision was made today not to not to add to the Mag 7.
right.
Remember, they always have to put some money to work, and this was a completely different chart. Um, so
Yeah.
we'll see. Um, but boy, look at it, unchanged. It's very unchanged
Yeah.
overall. And you know what? If you want safety, it's almost like a bond now.
For an investor, yeah. Go on,
So this is
investor.
this is the way bond markets were supposed to be.
Right. I mean, if you
Or
want to,
used to be for
people
100
say
years.
it's hard to outperform a market. Just take one trade in the Russell, make like 5% on your account, and never trade it again. You'll outperform it because it might end the year flat. Uh, there you go. You tell that to your investors. All right. Any other markets? Any other equities you want to talk about, Coach Paul? Or we move over or to gold.
No, we're good.
Go
I'm good.
to gold. What are we seeing here?
A nice rally. And look what we did. The 20 and the 50 were exactly the same on yesterday.
Okay.
At least on mine, yeah. and it couldn't cross.
Mm,
It was like equal price. That was really bullish to me.
yeah.
Uh,
It had the
one
opportunity to break
thing,
down.
yeah. Oh, it tried it, and it, but now we've talked about this. What do we have here? We have balance, but now we're finding the buyers that haven't been there. Um, trip. I mean that we've been up what how many times off of that? Was that
Oh
75, that
yeah.
area in
Yep,
the
that's
middle there?
75. Yeah, and that this is what and traders, you might be asking why I framed out this candle. It's the candle that made the all-time high. Again, adjusted for rollover prices, but we've rejected twice there. And we talked about this during the opening call. How many times, Coach Paul? How many times?
One, two, three. I think it's 6 times, 7 times.
Right. Eventually,
Um,
that resistance, which has been resistance so far, you would have to assume that maybe it breaks, right? Maybe it doesn't, right? Anything can happen in these markets. But that all-time high kind of looming there, we had that almost like a blow-off top move, a pretty big wick on that daily candle. We're starting to accept price back inside that range. That was a huge range day, high to low. That was almost a 4% day in gold.
80.
Uh,
Yeah, I think it was 8%. No, whatever. High to low was big. It was a huge range.
yeah.
$80, I
$80,
think it
$80
was.
range. We're accepting price back inside of this. This looks extremely bullish. We'll go down to a shorter time frame. Let's take a look at the half an hour. Last night, really not too much to talk about. Most of this move came during the New York session, which is nice for any traders that trade just regular trading hours. We got a pullback last night, and
Yeah, nice.
that was
Pretty nice pullback.
yeah, it's a nice short. That's a
Yeah.
nice short. Uh, in an uptrending market or market, I shouldn't call it uptrending. Yesterday we had a pretty bullish day, but it's not uptrending at all, right? Crude gold was very consolidated for a little while, but maybe we are starting to see some buyers coming in here. Hogue did mention the negative delta that we had all day yesterday, which is basically more market order sellers than buyers. But price going higher, and we've said this before, bad sellers become good buyers, right? And that could potentially push us up here. That opening range trade, when it works, it
s-
works.
That's the thing. Can you execute it and take 5 losers in a row?
The house did get beat up a couple of times. Well, and beat up is relative, right? How much are you willing to risk on each one of those punches that you're going to take, and you're going to take them. But how much are you willing to risk says a lot. 1 minute opening range, VWAP left the range almost immediately. Coach Paul, we got a word for this. What do we call this?
Urgency.
Urgency. Market traded a range and said, nope, we do not want to trade that. That is not fair price. We're going to go try to find it. Um, and left that range almost immediately. Came back, did check the high of the opening range, but that 1 minute opening range, 7:20 Central Time. From that point of the day, if that's where you start gold, that was the low. And this is what you want to see in a trending market. VWAP then becomes a support. The selling under VWAP fails. Just a beautiful trade.
Oh, look at the J trade there.
Yep.
Was that the biggest volume of the day?
Yes, this is a 1 minute. We usually look at that on a three, but yeah, the largest 1 minute candle of the day, selling right through that VWAP from the opening range, and then almost immediately recovers. And yeah, that is failed selling. Or the selling stopped, right? Whether they failed or not, maybe they got what they needed done. I think a headline came out around this time. I know Powell was talking early in the day. I know the president was speaking as well.
They sell gold.
Right. That was right at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Sorry, 9 a.m. Central time. Was there Richmond Fed index? Okay, so we had Richmond Fed index come out exactly at that time. Could have been that. Came in at -20. Forecast was -2. I do not know what the Richmond Fed index is really telling
Yeah.
us, but told us there was some volume. Seller said we're good. You guys can take it from here, and another rally.
It is so bullish to me.
Yeah, it is.
We see that, like you said, it's like they're buying the dip. They're resting that volume of that selling.
Yeah.
was the largest of the day, and then we just explode from there.
Yep.
So there was real selling, and what does that tell you? This was absorbed. There's active buyers out there seeking it
Hmm.
because it was like immediately like, okay, you know what else was interesting? It started in London again. I think the low was made in
Low
just
of the
before London opened.
day. Low of the day was made about 2 hours into the London session.
All right, it started in Europe, and
Yeah, this market looks extremely bullish.
this is still
Two
the
days.
1 minute.
Yeah, this is still the 1 minute. 2 days in a row where the house is able to take that 1 minute opening range trade and hold it to the auto liquidator. Now that being said, is that going to happen again tomorrow? I don't know if I'll bet on it, but if it presents
I don't.
itself, take the trade because this market is clearly showing that buyers are stepping up for whatever reason.
Yeah. Wow. That selling spike to me from that's really friendly to the upside.
Yeah,
That wow.
eye on these
It almost
prices.
looks like someone.
Go ahead.
It looks like someone. Almost like a fat finger error. Like someone sold too many and went, "Oh shit,
Right.
buy them back. It's
Yeah.
gonna cost you."
That was the range of
Um.
that 34.15.40 up to 34.23, we'll call it. Let's see if we get a pullback into that, maybe. I'll be watching gold tonight. I won't be looking at the charts. I'm going to a baseball game, but I'll be watching this range for any opportunity. All right. Anything else you
But
got
let's
on?
look at the half hour.
Take a look at the half hour. Wow.
So this is started Sunday night, I believe.
Yep, that's what it looks like. Yeah, above that
Uh,
200, we came down, checked it.
Down. Wow. Gold is back.
Does GC
Gold closed at 230. No, it
1
closes
12:20 Central.
Central 12:30, 1:30 Eastern. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and with that said, it's a very relative thing. Comex gold, because remember, gold trades 24/7.
Right. Bearish flag in 30-minute. We'll take a look. Let's go over to crude oil really quick. Anything else you got on gold, Coach Paul?
Um, no, that's it.
Take a look at crude oil. Might spend 13 seconds on this market. What are we seeing here?
What is that?
Balance. Next. Uh, yeah, this is when Hogan and I talked
Buy
about it.
low, sell high is working
eh,
as long
Yeah.
as you got the right low area and the high area. But here's the danger in this. This is a market that is dead, right? It's going to move out of it.
Yep.
And this is where big option players can start putting some volatility because they really don't care what direction. If you're buyer, it's just got to move. But right here, my feeling is it's not worth trading.
Agreed.
Let it do
Agreed.
something. I mean, it's still above the 200, it's above the 50. I feel that if it's going to go, it's going to go to the upside, but that's just me. How about you?
The last time we saw crude oil consolidate for a very long time, it was 3 months. So I'm looking at this market every day and say, I don't want to trade that. It will move when it wants to move, and then at that point, we know it can be a really violent move usually. But right now, there's just not enough opportunity from what I see. Let's take a look at that 1 minute opening range, and Hogan JD were saying the same thing. You want to take this mechanical trade, the 1 minute opening range breakout trade, because it's the same rules all the time. But we did ask the question this morning. We still took the trade, and house risk about $100 on it. Did end up losing on that trade. We asked the question though: is it worth it trading it in these market conditions? Right? Is it worth it placing any trade in these market conditions? And I think that is a function of your strategy. Now, compare the gold 1 minute opening trade to crude oil. When you hear Hogue and JD talk about that 1 minute opening range trade, right? And this is where, as a trader, you need to know where your playbook fits, right? If I'm a trend trader, I can't trade a market that's flat um, on any time frame because I'm just not going to get what I'm looking for. That opening range breakout trade is ideally like trend trade, right? Ideally where you catch the low or the high of the move and you leave it for the rest of the day. Uh, Said we don't like turbulence or roller coasters. This is like a wooden roller coaster with no seatbelts. Um,
Would
and
the no seatbelts, yeah,
right,
or no restraints.
you don't know where it's going to go. It's kind of just bouncing all over the place. And is there opportunity in this for a range trader? Maybe. I just when I look at it, it's hard to tell. Anyone in the chat trading fruit right now, probably not looking at spent more time than that we were going to spend here, but
Okay, then look at ahead. This is a 3 minute,
this is a 1 minute.
1 minute. Let's look at the 30 minute.
That looks like lose all your money to me.
It looks like you know, even a skunk couldn't make a cent. But let's move on.
Let us move. Uh, Trying to trade crude turned me into a NASDAQ trade. All right. Let's. I saw a 6J in the chat. Let's take a look at the yen. Unless Coach Paul, there's any other markets you want to take a look at. Here's the yen.
Yeah, the yen and the Canadian had beautiful moves today. Let's look at it from last night. Oh, we'll start with the daily. You have the daily up.
Yep, this is a daily here.
It's been trending down. There's a big election. Um, they're moving right and politically also. Um, and a big change in their government. Um,
Lost my charts for a second.
I guess I shouldn't have mentioned that.
There we go. All right, we're back.
All right. Look where we ended up at the 200-day moving average. Japanese yen has been tough trade lately, but we're looking day to day. So let's see what happened last night.
There's last night's open.
Now, they had a nice break but we had a nice rally yesterday.
Yep, this almost looks exactly like the gold chart.
Closed near the highs. And so it's rotating, but it's rotating higher off of intermediate term lows. This smells of short covering in a market that just is not trending overall well. But last night in Japan, look at that string of selling. I think there was only one bar of buying
Yeah, last night. Yep.
until we got to London.
This looks very similar to that gold chart. It's almost the exact same trade
Yep.
as gold. Did all the currencies do this?
You know,
Are we just seeing?
on our local
Go ahead.
radio, CBS News affiliate, I was driving today and I heard them talking about the dollar index. I'm like,
Mm,
ooh, this is starting to pick up momentum, or it's the dollar's oversold. But
right.
um, I don't know. There was some news in Europe. I don't follow the news, but what I do follow is the price and the volume. So London, when we look at these, I look at three different openings: Asia, Europe, US. As they passed the book. Was very interesting that London wanted it. whether this was a discount or central banks are buying it. Does it matter? Someone's buying it, and then it reflects in the volume. But most interesting, it's holding the Sunday gap.
Yeah. Yep. Gapped up Sunday and just rallied from there. I attached a VWAP to the weekly open. We came down. That's where that selling kind of stalled out again. Same thing in gold. This is interesting. I'm looking at a dollar chart, dollar index chart. Dollar down again today, about 0.6%, and continuing the trend lower. Are not near 2021 lows yet. We're about halfway there, but interesting. We're going to see these other markets, gold being one of them, micro Bitcoin being another one potentially. See some buyers coming in if the dollar keeps selling off. But I want to take a look at natural gas really quick because we did mention crude oil, which is an energy market that is not really presenting a great opportunity, but natural gas has been. And it kind of always, I shouldn't say always does, nothing always happens, but down 1.95% today in natural gas. If you're a current an energies trader, um, maybe a market to potentially pay attention to. Uh, it's doing a lot more than crude is right now. So maybe take a look at nat gas. There are micros as well. MNG is the ticker. If nat gas is too expensive, you'll hear people call it the widowmaker. You don't have to worry about that if you manage your risk.
If that's the widowmaker, what's the NASDAQ? Family wrecker?
Right. Yeah. The NASDAQ is the world record. Where it'll kill every account. But natural gas is a good one to trade. Coach Paul, we've consistently seen it be in the top percentage movers. So a decent market to trade. Any others
Yeah,
you want
boy,
to?
there's a Sunday gap.
Oh yeah. Did not fill. Almost looks like the
Yep.
inverse of the
Yen.
yen chart we just looked at. Here's Sunday. This morning
Wow.
or last night.
I'm praying for patience because how many times we see that where it breaks out comes back to that 50%?
Yeah. Yep. Happens a lot. But you can't catch them all. But when you see it, if you're there and you're watching it in real time, you're like, hey, that's an opportunity. And if you look at where VWAP left pretty late here last night or yesterday, came back, tested the 50, and then went. This gives you an opportunity to sell better than these sellers here. But it's a nice. There aren't many days where I think natural gas is not going to move at all. So opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, what those opportunities look like, that depends on your playbook, but opportunity making machine. Sure.
All right. We have a lot of people asking about silver in in the capital letters too. So
All right, for
it's
Ross.
been on a roll.
Ross, look at silver. Silver has been about 5 up days in a row in silver. Silver's a pretty expensive contract, $25 a tick. You can trade micros. SIL is the ticker. We are seeing prices that we have not seen. These are 5-year highs in silver. These are not all time highs, are they? Nowhere close.
No, $50
Yeah,
is.
yeah. But
It
silver
was
about
made in 1980 when I first started.
okay. Uh,
Yeah.
about to
Yeah.
trade.
Ask the Hunt brothers.
You said they cornered the silver market. I remember that.
Yeah. We never wanted. Well, that's for another time, but yeah,
Uh, that $40 level
didn't
is right
work for
there.
them.
It is right there. We have seen these alternative metals. Copper made new all-time highs. Platinum breaking out to levels that we haven't seen in a decade. Silver as well. Supply concerns for some of the markets. I'm not sure exactly what it is in silver, but from a technical perspective, we're seeing a breakout market right now. Anything you have on the daily here, Coach, or you want to go to the 30?
Oh, that daily looks really bullish to me.
Yeah.
We've been on this rally. It's the dips are being bought. And let's look at the 200 moving average. the 50 and the 20. We've seen this. This got room to move to the upside. Wow. Here's another look. This is a huge J trade on a daily, possibly. That big break we had off the rally high recently, last week. Yeah, look at that volume.
Oh yeah. You looking at this one?
Oh, we closed above it. Yeah.
Closed above it today.
So that's selling stopped, and it just went, okay, back to buying. Yeah, the metals seems to be. This is me talking that inflate. There's a lot of concern about inflation, and it's going into the metals.
See rallies.
Bottom
Ross,
line,
Brady says, "Do you think we get there on this move? Either to 40 or all-time highs? 40 more realistic all-time highs. I'm not gonna say that. 40, we could see 40 on the Globex Open if silver really wants to go, because it is a mover as well when it wants to be. But look at 40 first. Almost a 1% move in the upside in silver today. All right. Any other markets you want to look at, Coach Paul? You guys were watching fast markets. You
Bitcoin.
saw. Take a look at Bitcoin. Dakota with his and this is my first time seeing it. His heart rate monitor. Um, on his screen. Did you look at that? Did you see that, Coach Paul?
I just missed it, but I love the idea.
Yeah. So Dakota
Nomadic.
is now streaming with his heart rate behind him, right? So we can see what his heart rate is like while he's in a trade. I've ordered the device that he has. I'm going to try it as well, see how it responds. I thought it was pretty cool because it's, you're noticing a physiological response to your trading decisions in real time, right? If my heart rate is going crazy while I'm in a trade, is that a signal for something? Where I think it's something that we recognize, but maybe don't have the data for. I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty cool way to journal trading. But micro Bitcoin here. What are we looking at here on the daily?
Look at that range. I mean, we're in this range near all-time highs. I think this is the next move. Another move up is coming. Look at today's action, and it's been obviously. I mean, I don't have to be Captain Obvious here. We're ranging, but we're ranging at near the all-time highs. This is not bearish movement. Um, every I don't. I can see all-time highs coming in the next week. Me personally,
Yeah,
we look at the half hour. Look at that choppiness.
yeah,
But considering not printing any Bitcoin, considering the background of weaker dollar, I believe come August we'll start seeing if the tariff deadline doesn't move again. Um, it's not a bad, it's not a bad place to hold assets. And I
yeah.
think that's what we're seeing here. I mean,
I would agree with you
there's a classic J trade.
at these lows here.
Oh, lows, no, to the right where the biggest volume came, which isn't a close. So today, look at that selling on that on big volume, right back up.
Yep.
Now, it's hard to do an opening range trade on Bitcoin.
When does it open and when does it
'Cause
close?
yeah,
Doesn't.
Bitcoin itself it doesn't. Um, so look at, yeah. So the heavy selling gets bought up. It's holding this range. This range is right off the all-time high. Wouldn't take much to start rolling up. Michael Saylor says buy another $1 billion of Bitcoin, and off we go. That's the way I see it.
Agree with you. And if we keep seeing dollar weakness, see more Bitcoin strength. Not a market that I want to sell for a long period of time unless something changes, but looking extremely bullish here. Let's see if we got any questions in the chat. Nope, just Andrew saying it feels like 105 degrees in Georgia right now, man. Stay cool,
Oh,
drink water.
and that's a humid
Yeah, it
105.
is.
Oh man,
Yes, it
it's
is.
when you get some iced tea
Georgia
or,
sweet tea.
or an Arnold. Yeah, I like an Arnold Palmer.
Oh, there you go.
Too sweet for me.
Right.
I was in Dallas and they had a peach. Was at a hotel and they had a huge decanter of fresh peach tea. It was one of the greatest things I ever drank.
Nice.
It was delicious.
ICT says yo. No, not ICT. But if you're an ICT trader, by all means,
A
do
fair value gap, is that,
yeah.
do I see one and I'd break? Yeah, I think when,
Cut.
hey, I would, if you can do it and it has some value. And it's just like any other observation or platform or trading system, you know, you have to follow the rules
Follow the rules and manage your risk.
and you have to be consistent. And if you're an ICT trader, follow the rules. I mean, there is value in it. Absolutely.
Scrolling through the chat, Khadijah asked if we looked at the bonds already. There was a comment before that I saw something that was talking about rates. I missed the comment. So if you were looking for something from us on that and we didn't answer it, put it back in the chat. But anything you see here, I have the 30-year up, Coach Paul, on it daily. I know we were looking at this towards the end of last week. It was selling off. We're seeing maybe a little bit of a relief rally right now. Anything in the bond market that you're looking at? I know we got a Fed rate decision next week.
Boy, look at this buying the selling. Here's a classic example. Selling stopped last week.
Yeah.
Light volume rally, downtrend. I find it. I'm not trading it right now. I covered some shorts, looking for a place to sell it. If we go to the half hour, why am I looking? So we're still 100 to 200 daily moving average. The shorter term moving average are also under. And fundamentally, and you don't hear me talk fundamentally too often, but I'm going to give a number: 37 trillion.
What's that? It's a lot
That's
of zeros.
a lot of zeros that has to be funded. Um, yeah. Now we're at the 20-day moving average. We've had a decent rally up here, but that's a short term. I'm looking for a place to sell it. I'm not close to it, but overall, had a pretty sharp rally from, what was that, Friday's low or Thursday's low from
Thursday's low, it looks like.
was that PPI, CPI?
Yep, we did have PPI on Thursday.
But
Coach, what is this 37
I
trillion you're
mean,
talking
it's
about? Z Rooney wants to know.
the debt, the U.S. debt that has to be financed.
Finance that debt by selling bonds, but with
And pissing off our trading partners who buy that.
right,
Well, I always thought that at one point they could just say, okay, we're not buying U.S. bonds.
right.
Maybe we'll just buy silver,
Buy
Bitcoin,
Bitcoin, gold.
gold,
Yeah.
things that are starting to move up. And it's almost August 1st. So I don't know. I'm, I'm just, the overall picture, of course, we trade daily, but the overall picture on that bond chart, it's, you'd be hard convinced to buy a bond to sell. You'd have to be a real good salesman to sell bonds right now.
Yeah.
So
And
very interesting that silver's starting to wake up, and what we saw it in platinum. What did platinum do today?
let's take a
Oh,
look. Platinum. Left here. Here's platinum. Sell off a little bit today. Platinum did trade above 1500 a couple days ago. I'm not sure if you guys talked about that one, but it looks like it's just flagging to go higher. This is a market that has broken out,
oh my
and
God.
yeah, this is on the daily, but yeah, this is a very bullish market.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yep.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
is.
that looks more bullish than it did a month ago.
Yes, it does. It is just
Wow.
running.
Um, yeah, back to the theme. Maybe we don't buy bonds.
Hmm.
Something's going on underneath all of this. Put on your seatbelts.
Your first from Coach Paul, 40 years of experience in these markets and seen a thing or two. But I think that's it. Sean C had a question, or a couple of questions in the chat. We had one from VT. How do you build a buffer on 150K XFAs without blowing it? Currently on day 3 of my XFA, feeling nervous due to previous experience. VT, it's a great comment that you made there. Congrats on being in your XFA. Congrats on 3 good days to start it. Understand that a lot of times what trips traders up in these early parts of the XFAs is that 5-day number, trying to get to 5 profitable days because now I'm eligible for a payout. A lot of times, what we see happen is if on day number 4 you take a loss, uh, those are usually outsized losses because you've set a goal in your mind that I'm going to have 5 profitable days in this account and be eligible for real money and finally be able to take a payout. I'm going to ask 2 questions. Have you ever taken a payout before? And second question is, what have you learned from your previous experience that instead of making you nervous, you can use as information for what you're going to adjust this time? If what you did the last time is making you nervous, how you manage the account, that's information. What will make you nervous is if you do make the same decisions again. But if you've learned from it, adjust. And how do you build a buffer? You manage the downside. Because we can't choose when we're going to win trades or lose trades, but we can choose how much we're going to lose when we do. The way you build your buffer is managing that downside risk and then taking good trades and allowing them to play out. Your problem is you oversize. Well, there's your information. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. George, you have a good one too. What happens as well is traders build a buffer and they're like, oh wait, I'm in 150k 50k XFA. I can trade 15 lots now because I made that buffer. And then you blow your account. Don't do that. You know you're oversized. Don't do it. Use the contract limits. Set some contract limits in the platform. Use the tools to your advantage. What would you say to that, Coach Paul?
Just one thing to do. Set your daily loss limit to 10 to 12%. You're nervous and that you're giving away. So somewhere in your subconscious, it's creating a drama for you. And this is very typical, right? We don't, but it's like, I don't want to give this away yet. I want to make money. It's a dichotomy.
Yep.
What you, and you can't control that. You can, with experience, start taking the power out of it. But what you can do is mark your drawdown on any day 10 to 12%, especially when you're oversizing. When you do that, you'll preserve the account. If you're not doing that, what's going to happen? And this is what happens. I can't give this goddamn thing away. I'm going to do 10 lot and get that loss back.
Yep. Yep. Exactly how it happens. And
And
I think we see people in the chat agree with that because they've done it.
yeah, we're most of the people that we're talking to are human. So we're going to make human decisions and human errors.
Yep.
And you know, one of the things sometimes we do it when we're shamed or we're angry. But it's going to happen, and when we learn and then we say, "I'm going to preserve this count." And you can still you're a good trader. One of the things is I'll put it, if you're racing
Hmm.
cars, at one point you have to slow down into for the turn.
Right.
I mean, you can't go full speed into where sometimes we have to slow down into the turn and be prepared. These kind of markets for me are, I decided to take most of the week off. I'm trading Bitcoin, July, August.
Said you turned into a robot.
But how about now?
Uh, try this. Hold on 1 second. He was giving out too much sauce, chat. All right, try it now.
I took the red pill.
Yeah. All right, you should be better now.
All right. So slowing down into the turn, use that same mindset when you're because you're nervous
Yeah.
and you're also under stress. 10 to 12% drawdown on any given day, maybe take the next day off. Don't feel you have to trade every day and preserve the account.
Which Paul, you're showing them behind the curtain. They say Ken Sharp says super coincidence he turned into a robot after saying we are all human. So on that note, we're gonna end it. Need to recharge our batteries a little bit, but great message there by Coach Paul. It's one that he shares often because, again, like you said, we are human. We tend to make the same mistakes until we learn from them. So if you made a mistake in your account before, and you're at a spot where you have an opportunity to make that decision again, make a better one. And give yourself an opportunity. Just making the better decision doesn't guarantee that you're going to see success this time either, but it tilts the odds in your favor. Doing what you did before that didn't work is a higher probability way of getting the exact same result. So adjust where necessary. Don't be afraid to trade, and just keep going. Let's get out of here. We do have Coach Hoop coming up with a class in a couple minutes in Discord, and then Coach Robert actually is doing a class right now. And then we have Coach Ray and Coach Vince, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central Time. Dakota with slow market 7:30. Aaron with the London trade at 1:30. D with the Euro Open. Sorry, Aaron, Euro, London Open, 1:30. D, Euro trade, 3:30. And we will be back for opening call tomorrow. I'm getting back in the swing of things right now. I stop mumbling and stumbling over myself tomorrow. I remember what my job is. Thank you everyone for joining. If you asked how Jamaica was, it was amazing. I'll try to share some more pictures and things like that. I shared some on my Twitter page, but it was a great time. But I'm happy to be back officially. Thank you all for joining. If you haven't done so, hit that like button all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.